y'all? It's J. Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's boxing talk. First, we're going to get into the fight that took place this weekend, and then talk about the upcoming fights that are coming up on HBO. We had, in Montreal, Canada, the light heavyweight champion of the world, Sergey Kovalev, defend his title against Pascal in a rematch. And it was a dominating performance once again by the Krusher, as from the very first round, Kovalev landed a powerful jab that dropped Pascal to the canvas, but the referee made a bad call. He called it a slip. It was definitely not a slip. Pascal didn't have any game plan in this fight. It looked like Freddie Roach wasn't even a factor in this fight. From the beginning of this fight, Kovalev was in total control, looking very sharp and much better than he did in their first fight. He was landing a very good jab all night long and snapping the head back of Pascal and landing some good right hand shots.
Long little cheek. For a little old thing, little boys bang bang. Long little cheek. Niggas fighting over ring, niggas won't beat the game. Long little cheek.
This guy was a target the whole entire night, and Pascal just didn't have anything. He had a moment here and there where he landed a very good left hook that landed cleanly and powerfully on Kovalev. But Kovalev was not affected by this at all. It wasn't even competitive. It was a total mismatch in there. We all know that this fight took place because it was a money fight, because Pascal draws a very big crowd in Canada, and that's the only reason why this fight took place, so that Kovalev could stay busy until he gets that big Andre Ward fight later on this year. But in the 7th round, Freddie Roach stepped in and did the right thing. He told his man, he gave him the benefit of the doubt, and Pascal could not do anything. He said, "It's not your night, son. I'm going to call the fight." And he did the right thing. They stopped the fight because the referee wasn't stopping the fight. This guy was taking too much punishment.
Pascal's got hit with a straight right hand, but now he's so far back and leaning back, he's going to hit with a double right hand. What he should have done is try to hold to protect himself, because right now he can't even protect himself.
This fight should have been over 2 or 3 rounds earlier. It was stopped in the 7th round, but it should have ended like in the 4th or 5th round, because Pascal was just taking a lot of punishment, and it was unnecessary to take this much punishment. Kovalev got the victory win, once again showing that he is the most dominating light heavyweight in the division of 175 pounds. And after the fight was over, he was asked about Andre Ward and also about what is his plans in the future. And he said that he wanted a title unification with the other champion, Adonis Stevenson.
I would like to fight Adonis Chickenson.
Adonis Chickenson, who is also here ringside.
Stevenson entered the ring, and he did his impersonation of Mr. T as Clubber Lang in Rocky when he confronted Kovalev and said that he was the real champion and that he wanted to fight.
Hey, that's me. This is the biggest tough man. This is me. I'm the champ. I'm the real champ. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was all a big show, a total gimmick, but we all know that negotiations have now broken down between these two fighters, and they will not fight in the summer of 2016. Conflicting stories to this negotiation breaking down. For one, Adonis Stevenson does not have any contract with Showtime television network. He is not signed to any network whatsoever. What people have to understand is that he is an Al Heyman fighter. He has a management contract with Al Heyman. He is not a Showtime fighter. Now, HBO has stated that they do not want to do business with Showtime if there's not a contract with Adonis Stevenson. They see no reason for Adonis Stevenson to bring Showtime into the negotiations. Now, it has been stated by Adonis Stevenson's promoter, which has been his promoter before he joined with Al Heyman. His promoter has said that Adonis Stevenson has pledged his allegiance to Showtime as his business partner, and it is stronger than a contract, meaning that he does not have a contract with Showtime. He is involving Showtime in this deal so they can do a pay-per-view split like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather and Tyson and Lewis. This is not a big pay-per-view fight that's going to generate a whole lot of money like those fights did in the past. No, this is a fight where HBO wants to have total control of this fight because they have a solid contract agreement with Sergey Kovalev, their fighter. And they will like to have Adonis Stevenson fight on their network where they will have control, and they are willing to pay 50-50 for these guys to fight. Now, that was the offer that was set by Adonis Stevenson's team, is the fight will be money split 50-50. Now, that's a great deal because I thought Adonis Stevenson would ask for the bigger lion's share of the money, but they're only asking for 50% of the money. But they are also asking that each network pay their own fighter. But that will also have to be sharing of the profits between the two networks. And that's something that HBO is not willing to do. And it's rightfully so. I understand where they're coming from on a business standpoint. But the fans are frustrated. Everyone wants to see these fights. And we know that Adonis Stevenson is not ducking Sergey Kovalev. You know, I like Kovalev. I think he's a very good fighter, the best in the division. But something tells me that Adonis Stevenson has the formula of boxing skills, of hand speed, and equal punching power to neutralize what Kovalev does in that ring. That's just my opinion. There's a lot of people think that Kovalev will walk right through Adonis Stevenson. And there's some people that think that Adonis Stevenson will beat Sergey Kovalev. But until that fight happens, we will never know the answer to that question. There's another fight on the horizons that was just made. It's not a done deal. The ink has not dried on the contracts, but Andre Ward has stated that there is a fight agreed upon with Sullivan Barrera, who is an outstanding, undefeated, light heavyweight contender that is also the mandatory for Sergey Kovalev. But he is giving up his mandatory position to fight Andre Ward in a very big money fight, of course, for him, and also a big, great opportunity that if he could pull off the victory upset over Andre Ward, that just makes it an even more attracting fight in the light heavyweight division against a fighter like Sergey Kovalev. Sullivan Barrera is a tough, strong, big light heavyweight. This guy comes into the ring weighing close to 190 pounds. He's a very physical fighter, and he has a amateur pedigree with that Cuban national team that he could box, and he also has very good punching power. He's a strong light heavyweight, and he has a very good trainer in Abel Sanchez, who is also the trainer of Triple G. Now, this is an opportunity for Andre Ward to shut the mouth of Abel Sanchez because of all the back and forth between Triple G and Andre Ward, and the fans been wanting to see this fight. This is the closest you're going to get to see the trainer versus the fighter. But it's an opportunity for Andre Ward, and I got to give him his respect for stepping up against a light heavyweight, a true contender in the division, and not fighting a blown up super middleweight like he was planning to do back in November on the undercard of Cotto Canelo, because he is stepping in there against a dangerous opponent. Now, Sullivan Barrera has never faced anyone like Andre Ward. It's a big test for him, and he's taking that challenge. But Andre Ward is also taking a risky fight because he's been very inactive for over 2 years. He had that one fight against a very limited Paul Smith that he was easily dominating in that fight, and he was very sharp for a guy that's been out for almost 2 years. So we're going to see how sharp he looks in this fight. With his boxing skill and his ring IQ, Andre Ward is the heavy favorite to win this fight by outboxing Sullivan. And if Andre Ward passes, then everyone is going to be super excited for the showdown between Sergey Kovalev and Andre Ward, because that's the fight that the fans want to see. But we can't wait for that fight to happen. It's a very good fight, and it's going to definitely include some prejudice, because you have a lot of African Americans out there that are going to be rooting for Andre Ward, and then a lot of people that are going to be rooting for Sergey Kovalev because the color of his skin. We all know that Jean Pascal tried to bring racism into this fight to sell the fight. It's definitely going to spill over to that Andre Ward fight versus Sergey Kovalev, and I can't wait for that fight to happen. So I'd like to thank everyone for listening to my recap, and also for subscribing to this YouTube channel, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please hit that subscribe button, that little red button that says subscribe. Keep on following me. Keep on watching me. Check me out on Instagram, and also join that Facebook boxing group page, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stand Clean Entertainment. Thanks for your support.